Thank you. Thank you again, Mr. Katz. I think your testimony went right to the bottom line of a lot of small businesses. I'd like to ask you to summarize what you went over in terms of the unfortunate cutbacks, sales, possibly closing 2 restaurants you're facing, and then spend more time, focus on a different category. If these impediments and costs didn't face you, absent the Obamacare law, what would you probably be doing in terms of opportunities, in terms of the new location you described, et cetera?
Well, I think along with Mr. Settles, I would be aggressively expanding at this point, Senator. Part of the problem is the cost. The other problem is the uncertainty, and we just don't know. And the issue, my concern today is, I almost think it's a house of cards, because we know the penalty is going to be $2,000, but it's irrational to think it's going to remain that. And so if I have to put my faith in myself to keep me in business, or the federal government to not set rates to put me out of business, I'm going to make my own decisions. And so we've talked about it a little bit, but the global issue to me is, I grew up thinking to be in the 96th percentile was good and the 4th percentile was bad, and I never knew how true that was until I've heard today, because I really want to get into the 96th percentile and get out of the 4.
I'd like to help you.
and whether, if it can't be done away with, whether that's increasing the definition of what a full-time employee is, maybe expanding to help some of these small businesses. The biggest issue to me is what I'm faced with. You get to 48 or 49 people, do you want to go any higher? Do you want to hire anyone? Do you want to open another business? And you got to have an awfully profitable business in order to say yes to that question. So my 15 or 16 employees, it's a crime, but that's going to happen tens of thousands of times. There's lots of people like me making these same decisions today, and that's my biggest concern, is what's going to happen going forward.
Thank you. That's all I have. Thank you.
Senator Rubio.
Thank you. Mr. Katz, I too am inspired by your story. It really is the epitome of what it means to succeed in America. This story is amazing. So you basically cashed out your life insurance, you took out your credit card availability, you emptied your life savings, and with that you opened these restaurants, and then you struggled at the beginning to make it. But today you own 6 diners, you employ 85 people, 65 of them full-time, right?
Correct.
And you offer them today paid holidays, vacation, dental, vision, term life, and health insurance.
Correct.
Is it correct to say your employees are happy with that coverage that they're getting?
I think so. We have very low turnover for our industry.
It's
so
50% that have it. You offer it, but 50% have it.
Correct. Correct.
But the other 50% don't.
Well, most of them are ineligible because of the hour requirement, Senator.
But they don't have it. 50% of your employees have it, and 50% don't.
Yeah, I would think a percentage of those do. Some are covered by Medicaid. Some have other ways through their spouses of having coverage, but
they don't have your coverage.
They don't have my coverage. That's correct.
But the point is, you have a large number of employees that are currently covered by health insurance or are not happy with that insurance.
Correct.
Okay. When the mandate kicks in, what are you going to do with that insurance?
Just day one, I'm going to have to drop it.
Okay. So is it fair to say that these employees that now have coverage and are happy with it are no longer going to have that coverage?
Not through our company. Correct.
Earlier, I heard statements made that that would be a choice, that people would make that choice. So let me ask you, were it not for Obamacare, would you have made that choice?
No, we would have continued it.
You've also discussed in your testimony, in your written testimony that I've read, about some of the decisions you're going to have to make. You described that one of your options is you may have to close or sell 2 of your diners, right?
Correct.
Is that because of Obamacare?
Correct.
How many people will lose their jobs if you have to make that decision?
16 FTEs will get me to 49, and that's apparently the magic number.
So 16 people may lose their jobs if you have to
Maybe slightly more than that, because some of those are going to be part-time people.
So is it fair to say that 16 people could potentially lose their jobs because of Obamacare?
Well, it's not just fair. It's an accurate statement, sir.
Okay. And you also, like most businesses, would like to grow.
Correct.
Right? In fact, you've identified a location that you may want to expand to. Right?
Correct.
And everything you know about your business tells you, I should expand. This is exactly the right location.
Correct.
Are you going to do that?
No, sir.
Why?
Because that will permanently if I had 15 people, the after-tax penalty is going to be $30,000. So you're looking at roughly $45,000 in profit that's going to go to that. I'm looking at, my gut tells me it will be good. It could be unsuccessful, but the least it might make is $40,000, $50,000. So I'm looking at the option. Do I want to open a restaurant, invest $500,000 or more to make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, knowing that almost 50 of that's going to go to the federal government? So the odds are not in my favor.
If you open that new restaurant, how many new people would you hire?
15 to 20 people, at least 15 FTEs.
Okay, so there is a new business that is not going to open, at least because of Obamacare.
Correct.
And there are 15 or 16 people that are potentially unemployed today or looking for a job that will not be able to find one because of Obamacare.
Correct.
There's 15 or 16 jobs that are not going to be created because of Obamacare.
Correct.
Had it not been for Obamacare, you would have probably created those jobs.
Yes, Senator.
Okay, thank you.